Okay, the next part of the board is putting the fin box in. I'm going to route out a hole. Got an old router here. If you don't glass the fins on, this is what you do. You can put the smaller box systems if you have the jigs for that. Generally you need a shop. But since this is just a single fin egg, I'm just going to route this box in, and I'm going to route out the hole and then set it up with the fiberglass around the sides and put it in with the Solarez resin. And that way I won't have to wait as long. I'll put a little catalyst in the resin and then sit it out in the sun, and 3 minutes later I'm ready to sand. First thing I want to do is make sure it's lined up properly. I always get down at the nose and look down the channel. This is a pencil line just to help me see the edge when I route it out, because I don't have a jig. I'm just doing this by hand. It's a little harder, but not everybody has a jig. Even with a jig, you got to tape it down, and it can move on you unless you have a clamp real tight. This works pretty good. There. Okay, I'm going to route this out to the depth. The fin boxes come with these little flanges on them, so you can only go in that deep. Helps to level the box when it's dropped in the hole. Also, you'll notice on the top of the fin box there's a little tab here. What this does is keep the box firm so the sides won't come in until it's actually laid into the board. Then when you grind down the sides here, this extra plastic, this grinds off, and there's a little slot right there where the pin that's in the front of the fin box pin will go into that slot and slide forward or back depending on where you want to put the fin. And there's a plate inside and the screw, and you screw the screw screws to the plate after the pin's dropped in, and the pin holds it in the slot, and that's how it works. But this just keeps the blocks firm so it doesn't squash. You want the router blade to go to where it touches the bottom of the little flange here. There it goes, right there. A little bit deeper. Let's see where it just hits it. There we go, right there, right there. That way, when you route out the hole, these little wings on the side of the box will rest on the hole, and that keeps it level. The routing out the hole involves going through the fiberglass, and the resin doesn't give you the itch, but ground up fiberglass, that'll give you a little bit of an itch. So it's the more protection you have, the better. I found that this helps to keep the fiberglass out going up on your arms. Just a little tape on a long sleeve shirt seals it off. A little tight. And I've got dust mask, goggles, and a headset. Well, what I've done is I routed up pretty close to the pencil line. A little off right there, but then you just take a sanding block and come back in and just even it up. Just got to clean this edge up a little bit and make sure the fin box fits in there. I use a little rat tail file here. Yeah. So now I have to tape all this off for the excess resin so it doesn't get all over the board. And tape off the top on the inside of this so the resin doesn't accidentally get inside the box. And just mix up a batch and drop it in with a little fiberglass on the side. Put a little bit of catalyst in the solarized resin, the Solarez, just for the part that doesn't see the sun, and then put it outside. Now, rather than put a leash plug on the other side of the board, you have to route out a hole and drop a leash plug in. You can come through, you can route through the deck and come into this area here where the fin box is, and the hole will fill up with resin. There'll be a little spot on the other side, and then when the board is completely done, you can come through the deck. There'll be a little hole here with a spot of resin in it, and you can drill into that, and that will come into the bottom of the box, and then you can drop your leash string in here. Lots of shops do it that way. It's much simpler than putting a plug in here. Plus it's stronger too. The plug can pull out. The whole fin box isn't going to pull out. Just need to mark where that is. Right about there. There's the spot. That's where I'm going to make my hole. And that'll be right in the very back end of the fin box. Now there is the hole. This part's important because you don't want the resin coming through the hole and dripping away. You seal off the hole. On this side, that's where the resin won't drain out of the box. And I think what is a good thing to do is just push that tape just a little bit, so it's a little bulge on the other side. That way it'll sand flat. Just tape off the sides. You don't have excess on the board, just more trouble sanding it later.